Hello, hi, welcome back to NPTEL MOOCs course on developing soft skills and personality. This is week 8, module 3, lecture number 45. And in this module, as like in the previous module, I will continue talking about presentation skills. And in this module, particularly, I will focus on the role of body language. Now, before I start, let's take a quick review, recapture of what we did in the previous lecture. In the previous lecture, I gave you a lot of tips on becoming a professional oral presenter or a public speaker. In order to become a professional, I said you need to keep certain important points in mind. What are they? View the venue, that is, you go to the venue before time, experience, familiarize with the venue, welcome the viewer, identify the audience, greet them, talk to them so that you feel kind of warmth even before talking and maintain rapport with them. Master your material. There is no shortcut to delivering the most effective presentation. If you are not thorough with the speech, if you don't take time for preparation, just don't go and give the talk. Master your material. Without mastering, don't go for the talk. Calm your mind. Use all breathing exercises, techniques, but then keep your mind calm, relaxed. Visualize yourself speaking and visualize yourself delivering the most popular talk and then getting the standing ovation and applause from the audience. Realize people want a winning leader, so don't panic if somebody at the corner is going to ask you the most difficult questions. Be ready, because people want you to answer. Don't expect that somebody from the group will give answer in support of you. If you are thoroughly prepared, okay, and always when you give the presentation, keep something for the audience towards the end for the question answer session, and then use those points which you have not covered before and impress the audience again during the question answer session. But don't panic, okay, and people want you to become the winning leader. Not somebody from the audience who will criticize you or who will try to find fault with you. Avoid apologies. Never say sorry at the beginning, at the end, for not preparing, for feeling bad, for like whatever excuse it could be, that your PPT is not working properly. Don't say sorry, and at least don't begin with that. Okay. Focus on your message, not the medium. If your content is good, and then if you are thoroughly prepared, just focus on how well you can deliver the content, not on the way, that is the way you are using some words. Okay, do not focus on the fact that whether you are saying something grammatically correct or not. That's going to harm your presentation. Audience again is not bothered, especially in public speaking, especially when you use the speech medium. They are not so particular about grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes which you are likely to commit, or slight pronunciation error you are likely to commit. They are not bothered about it. In writing, spelling mistakes and other grammatical errors are too glaring, but in speech people are more focused on what you are going to tell, what is the message, what do I have in this talk. For this reason, even if you have nervousness at the beginning, during, okay, try to convert that into positive energy. A little amount of nervousness is necessary to pump out the adrenaline in you, so use that. And towards the end, I said that gain experience. Volunteer for giving small talks at the beginning. Go ahead and give longer ones, lengthier ones, and then gain the reputation of giving useful talk, effective talk, and gain experience from one speech to another one and become popular. And make what you visualized as a reality, that you will become a speaker who will get standing ovation. Now, main objectives of public speaking, I said there are 4 main objectives, that is to entertain, to make the audience feel, just enjoy your talk, educate, that they learn something, provoke, that they try to feel provoked in terms of thinking or doing something, and then influencing their thoughts, their behavior, and then making them again act, do something in your favor. So initially somebody is not influenced with your proposal, but then you convince the person to give certain amount for your project. So influencing can be in the form of getting something in your favor, or even influencing them to think and then develop themselves. I also concluded by saying something about how you can structure and deliver your speech. So I said that you start strongly, you can start with some anecdotes, start with some startling facts, okay, some interesting quotations, and have just 3 or 4 major points, and then learn how to elaborate them and say the first point very clearly. And when you are saying and elaborating, towards the end, occasionally try to summarize, okay, whatever you are saying then and there, and the last conclusion is actually a summary, and then you can leave them with a powerful effective quotation so that they can think about it further. At the end of it, you tell them why you delivered the talk, make it relevant for them, and end it with a positive note. Okay. Now that is about becoming a professional. But in this one, this module, let us understand the role of body language in making you become a professional public speaker, because the role of body language is very significant, very crucial in making you become the most popular public speaker. In fact, you might have seen some people even come without any strong matter, that is the knowledge part is very less, but the body language is so powerful, so interesting, so impactful that you are spellbound, and then you do not even bother about what they are saying, but you are getting carried away by their body language. So even body language can go to the extent of influencing people even with less content. But to become a professional, I am not saying that you should do that. You develop your body language, but at the same time go with good content, enough material that comes out of your knowledge. Now in terms of body language and using it in public speaking, at the beginning itself steady yourself in a mirror. Okay. Today you can replace mirror in terms of video recording, and then you can see that again and again. But then the best thing is still steadying yourself in a mirror, speaking before a mirror and seeing whether it's impressing you. If you yourself cannot be impressed by your own talk, you cannot impress anybody else. Body language reflects what you are saying, and if any gesture is distractive, negative, and it is not reflecting what you are saying, remove that. Dress appropriately for the occasion. I have spent enough time on dress codes, do and do in terms of interview, group discussions, that is appropriate here also. For example, if you have to give a talk in funeral, formal one, especially in foreign countries, generally they come dressed in black. In an Indian scenario, generally they prefer white. Okay. Apart from the color code, so wedding, you are giving a talk, so they expect that you are in a very formal suit and all that. But let us say it is an informal talk, they want you to give a talk for young kids, just to give a pep talk. So you can be even in a t-shirt and jeans. Depending on the formal, informal occasion, dress appropriately. But all the time the dress should not be a distractive element, it should merge, it should suit your personality. And while talking, relax your facial muscles, make them free and try to smile when and where it is appropriate. Pause after each main point. When you give a thought, you just give a pause so that let them reflect on it, let them absorb the point. Eye contact initially with someone approachable is required, is desired, because if you are starting new, you may be a bit nervous as to even look at the audience, but there are some among the audience, even your friends, your teacher, your parents, your relatives, somebody is sitting there, your colleague, who is your well-wisher, and just look at that person who is approachable, who is all the time nodding head for whatever you are saying. So initially try to maintain eye contact, look at the audience, maintain eye contact with somebody approachable. This is the beginning step. And then when I talk about eye contact, avoid hiding. What do I mean by avoid hiding? Sometimes the podiums are very big. So what people will do is they'll try to lower them and then they'll try to avoid. So they don't want to look at the audience, and then they are very nervous, they are sweating. So avoid looking nervous. So try to look calm. So courage itself is not actually means the absence of any fear. It only shows how you are able to control, manage the fear and not show it that much on your face. And look into the eyes of allies. So people who are generally supportive, look into their eyes. But if you are uncomfortable looking into the eyes of people who are appearing to be your opponents, enemies, try to look at them on the forehead. Okay. Some people try to even go slightly lower and try to look at the nose, but on the forehead is always safe because they get a feeling that you are actually trying to maintain eye contact. But the most important of all, try to maintain eye contact with all the people. So there are techniques. Sometimes they say that if you are really afraid of maintaining eye contact with all, they say follow the triangle method. That is, you look at one person in the center, so one in the corner that side, another one in this corner. But as you vary and modulate your eye contact, so people get a feeling that you are looking at all of them. Okay. Some people suggest the square method, that is one in this corner, one in this corner, one in the other one and the one at this end, and occasionally somebody at the center. So that gives them a feeling that you are looking at all of them. But it is important that you need to maintain eye contact, and here you need to develop a lot of courage. Sometimes when people look at you very piercingly, so you may feel nervous, but then you turn, look at somebody who is more comfortable maintaining eye contact with. So turn your eye contact and face the other person, so that makes you feel confident. The next important thing with regard to body language is with regard to your posture and movement. So while standing, so some people they used to shift legs. What is shifting legs? So they will move one leg and then they will come to the other one. So that is shifting leg. So you just shift this side and shift the other side. And then do not make any frantic movement. So moving this side fast and then coming this side fast, don't do that. And then do not move back and forth. So some people go back and then they come forward. So go back and come forward. In fact, some people look as if they are dancing. So they move here, they move there. That's just the way they are trying to handle their nervousness. But to the audience, it looks very funny, ridiculous. So you are making movements which are not required and you are trying to exhibit that you are very nervous. So avoid these things, try to control, put the feet firm on the ground. Use open posture. So keep the hand open and use gestures with hands for emphasis. So if you have to say something, so you can use the hand to show emphasis. Speak in a natural tone. So you don't have to speak in a falsely accented tone so that you think that, oh, if I speak like that, people will be very impressed. No, speak in a natural tone that comes normal to you, and that audience will like it very much. Okay. So try to keep that in mind. And some more do's and don'ts, all the time try to face the audience. Okay. And look at each person in the audience once you develop some confidence. If you are using notes, okay, and if you have to look at the notes only occasionally. What does it mean? You will not look at the notes all the time and read it so that you cut the eye contact between the audience and you. That is disastrous. So they will lose interest in your talk. So look at the notes, but you should be very thorough with what is there in your notes. So that's where your preparation comes. And when you are prepared so thoroughly, what you have in notes is just a kind of reminder. Okay, it's just a memory recall. So you have written some important phrases. So you look at them occasionally to check whether you have missed any point. But you will not see everything and read it to the audience. That's a bad thing to do because you lose eye contact. And smile, and then as I said, the radiating smile, that is very important. And if you are using a PowerPoint, there is another tendency, like if the mouse is kept. So while moving, you may just look at the mouse carefully and then you may press it. either you practice that you handle the mouse even without looking at it, so become an expert in that, or get someone else to click the mouse, okay, do not use it at all, or use a remote. So, nowadays you have got remote for moving PPT, so use the remote, keep that remote in the hand and try to do that. Now, in terms of do's and don'ts, again with body language, particularly don'ts. So, do not hold on to anything. Now, let us say the podium is there, in your fear do not hold on this, okay, do not hold the mic so firmly. So, do not hold on your handbag, file, okay. So, that indicates again you are nervous. So, people are really afraid like what to do. So, they will try to hold on to the chair that is kept. Suppose there is a bench, again they hold on to the bench. And then when you either use a PowerPoint or use a notes, do not read directly from that. So, do not look at it and read word by word. You are thorough and they are there just as a kind of refreshing points. Okay. So, you do not have to read from that. And do not keep looking at the screen. So, if you are again giving PPT, all the time looking at the screen, so that will also make audience lose eye contact with you. If there is a professor who is examining you, or there is an examiner, as in case of Viva and some project presentations, so you have a tendency to look at only the professor. So, the audience is sitting completely here, so many students and other staff, other faculty are there, but you look at only the examiners thinking that you should convince only them. That is again another aspect of nervousness. In fact, you should actually forget that the examiners are sitting. You should look at them as if you are looking at them as one of the audience. Looking so much and only on the examiner will make them feel embarrassed, and some people do not like you looking at them because they know that you are feeling nervous, and then or they know that you are trying to impress them by looking at them. So, try to avoid that. In terms of voice quality, let us look at some do's and don'ts. Voice quality, speak loudly and clearly. So, in fact, expert speakers, professionals, the first thing they will do is they will check the mic, okay, if at all it is there. If mic is not there, they will ask the audience on the last row whether they are able to hear them. So, they will ask, am I audible to you? Can you hear me? Okay, am I audible? If somebody says yes, you are audible, I can hear you, then they go ahead. If they say they cannot hear, they increase the volume in the mic or they try to speak louder. So, speak loudly and clearly, enunciate, that means say each and every word, do not mumble, do not skip. Do not speak in a hurry, speak slowly but with confidence. So, some people are afraid of speaking slowly because they think that they will reveal their nervousness. It is important to emphasize important points by slowing down and or speaking louder. So, when you slow, also people will try to follow what you are going to say, and when you raise your voice, again people know that you are saying something important. And if you are giving a group presentations, like 5 people giving one presentation for a common project that you did. So, each one speaks for let us say 5 minutes. Now, once your turn is over, so you can say, so now my friend so and so will come and talk about this part, or you can say, so far I have talked about this aspect of this project, but this project has 4 other aspects. The next one, my friend so and so will come and discuss with you. So, give transition to the next speaker, especially in team presentation. So, that makes audience to follow it smoothly. What shouldn't you do in terms of voice quality? Race through your speech, okay, as if you are sitting in super fast train. So, some people just they want to finish the speech as quick as possible so that their nervousness is over. No, but as you race, you commit more mistakes. But as you are slow and deliberate, you are able to remain calm and collected. So, do not think that you will race through your speech and then get it done quickly with less mistakes, but it could be the other way around. And some people, as I said, try to read directly from notes and screen, and you should never do that. Never talk too fast and never talk deliberately too slow also. Some people have not prepared, okay, even for a 10 minutes talk. So it has been told that you have to speak full 10 minutes, otherwise marks will be deducted. So only 2 minutes idea gets dragged till 10 minutes, and they speak very deliberately slowly. And mumbling is like saying something only you can hear. So your lips are sort of whispering, but nobody can hear. And never exceed the time limit. Nobody will accuse you if you finish your lecture before time, if you finish the public speech before the time given. But if you exceed the time limit, people will be unhappy. And then never do this mistake of saying, as like most teachers try to do that, they will say that just one more minute, I am going to finish this. So 10 minutes are over, and they will say just another half minute, so another 15 minutes will go. So that 1 minute sometimes can extend up to 1 hour, and you know you are killing the audience to death. So, and they will start looking at the watch, so they will make lot of restless body movement. And some people, if they can afford to do, they will even walk out, they won't mind going out. So when you say some time limit, so stick to the time limit and do not exceed the time limit. Now towards the last few points, the most important thing that you shouldn't do at all is never turn back on audience. So even for writing something, showing something on the board, so even when you do that, one part of your face, okay, at least one eye should be maintaining the contact. Turning completely on the back and slouching as if like you are so weak and then you are not prepared. So that again leaves a very bad impression. And keep the hand open, don't put the hands in pockets, that again becomes a very bad defensive gesture. In fact, one of the crucial question that people ask in terms of public speaking, oral presentation is that what to do with my hands. Okay. As I have said before, don't put it in your pocket. If you are nervous, you can slightly rest the palms, but not holding it firmly. Okay. You can just rest it for some time, but once you are relaxed, once you feel that now I am okay, then open the palms to show that you are confident, and then you have nothing to hide. You are giving a very truthful and honest talk. You are thoroughly prepared. So you are not afraid of anybody. Avoid inserting them in pockets, keeping them on the back, or crossing hands and giving a talk. All the time crossing the hands and giving a talk. So you are completely losing your non-verbal touch. Now the best gesture is anything that correlates the verbal part of communication. So whatever you say, if you are able to correlate that, so that will be the best gesture. So people, even when they mute it, okay, let's say they are watching your thing on the video, and if they mute it and if they see, so they should be able to more or less guess what you are trying to say. So if you can use that, that is the best form of communication and the best way to use it. At the end of it, I would like to say, when you use your hand and especially the body movement in communication, including both verbal and non-verbal, I would say that be spontaneous like a child. Okay, the child doesn't bother like the way it moves its hand, but then all the time it's trying to communicate with you. And if you are close to the child, even before it says something, you know that it likes you, it doesn't like you, it wants it, it doesn't want it. Okay. And then it knows what to grab, what to throw. And the hand gestures, the leg movement, they are all coming very spontaneously and very naturally. In fact, if you can come using this very spontaneously and in a very natural manner, whether it is in public speaking or in oral presentation or in group discussion or in interview, the one who is spontaneous and natural is the one who will be selected. They don't want people who are nervous, who are afraid, who cannot handle nervousness before the interview panel, before public. And when you become spontaneous, you will also enjoy the talk that you are delivering. Now, as a concluding thought from a famous poet, Maya Angelou, pay attention to what she says. She says, I have learnt that people will forget what you said. This means the verbal part of your talk may be completely forgotten. People will forget what you did. Okay, so even the non-verbal part, the hand gesture and all that, so even that can be forgotten. How you try to communicate, so that also people may forget. But there is another aspect to this. But people will never forget how you make them feel. At the end of the talk, if it was a very powerful talk, did you move them emotionally? Did you express your passion and make them feel passionate? Did what you felt at your heart went through your tongue and then reached them and touched their heart too? If you can assure that, and at the end of it, overall, if they feel good, the feel good factor, that I listen to this person, but I feel very good. I am happy that I listened to this person. So, that is the emotional spiritual quotient part that will ultimately distinguish you from rest of any other speakers, any other persons who are going to give that interview. That giving that feel good factor, the last one, at the end of it they feel that okay, I'm feeling good, my heart is full after listening to this. Because people will forget all other things, but they will remember how you made them feel. Okay. Feel about that, think about it, and then let me say bye. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will come back to you with one more module on presentation as how to use visuals. Thank you once again.